From across Maryland, Virginia, and the District, this is Washington's 24-hour local news leader. News Channel 8's Live This Morning starts right now.
7 minutes now before 10 o'clock. The second leading cause of cancer-related deaths in the United States is the result of a disease most of us would probably just as soon not mention, colorectal cancer. But in this case, silence can be deadly. March is National Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. And to help us better understand the disease is Dr. Anu Gupta, a radiation oncologist with associates in radiation oncology. Dr. Gupta, it's always a pleasure to have you here. Colorectal cancer, it's one of those things, unfortunately, that is sort of shrouded in, well, you know, nice people don't talk about things like that. Yeah, nice people die as a result, too, from not talking about things like this.
Right. So what's one of the most important screening tests we have, you know, PSA, mammogram, colon cancer screening. It's also the one you do the least frequently. Most the screening recommendations are for people over the age, starting at the age of 50, once every 10 years, depending on risk factors. And risk factors means family history, history of polyps, inflammatory bowel disease. Those people have to start a little earlier. But for some reason, even though it's for most people it's once every 10 years, people don't do it, they forget, it sounds weird. You know,
it doesn't have the best reputation either. No. You know, never minding the part of the body that we're talking about here. You have to drink a lot of what is charitably not a very good tasting liquid. It can be a little uncomfortable while it's happening and immediately after. But it's the only cancer screen where the doctor can actually visualize the field, as they say, look in there and see if there's a problem.
Right, and most of these colon cancers arise from polyps, and if those polyps can be removed early, they're less likely to develop into a malignancy. And so you're right, there's a lot of barriers to getting colon cancer screening, but frankly, it really should be part of your, you know, put on your calendar and you're made aware of, because you really will. The treatments for early stage disease are limited. It's usually surgical resection. You get beyond early stage disease and the treatments become far more aggressive, far more toxic, and far more unpleasant than just a colon cancer screening would be.
Yeah, you have to look at the big picture here. 2009, an estimated 106,000 new cases of colon cancer were diagnosed in the United States, and almost 41,000 from the disease. So we are talking about a major health threat here, that if you aren't talking about it, you're whistling past the graveyard in every meaning of that phrase. Right.
And again, it's something you should be aware of that needs to be done, that should be brought up to your physician, because again, it's once every 10 years. It's very hard to assume your physician is going to keep track of when those 10 years are up for you. So it's very important that you keep track of what you're doing. And most importantly, the number one sign that people need to report to their physicians if they ever notice is a change in bowel habits. Yeah. So if that ever happens, you definitely don't wait till you're 50. Talk to your doctors. If it happens in those 10 years in between screening, tell your doctor, because that's a hallmark sign of something happening.
Are there risk factors that we need to be looking for?
That's one. Change in caliber stool, change in color of stool, blood in your stools, weight loss, abdominal cramping. So those are usually the signs to look out for.
You get a lot of information at this website. Go to raddocs.com. Dr. Anu Gupta, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us.